Should we crack on with starting with Dale Fry then, Neil? How is he?
Well, he's obviously he's still, he's got the stitches in. He feels a lot better himself. Swelling's going down. Whether it'll go down enough, I don't know. But it's definitely going down. But we won't risk him if there's a doubt.
Must have been quite a shock for him, was it? Just that whole episode at the weekend.
Yeah, it wasn't nice. But he's a big, strong lad. So it's don't know what else I can say about it, if I'm honest.
You weren't really in the mood to talk about Marcus Tavernier or indeed anything else at the weekend, because you did appear to be quite shaken by it, quite angry as well.
Yeah, I hadn't felt like that since, I told you. Even after the game at night, when I woke up, I kept thinking of Eddie Smart and Craig Pawson, doing a Chelsea game, bloody linesman at Chelsea, and how I felt so cheated that day. And I felt exactly the same on Saturday with the referee, I must admit. I felt completely changed the whole day, the whole outcome of the game and everything. And when you work so hard as a manager and staff and players, to be let down by something not in your control, it's just absolutely it makes you distraught, really.
So Marcus Tavernier was another player who went off at the weekend, and it looked to be his groin, you might have first towards the end of the match. How's he doing?
It's another slip on the grass. I mean, the pitch is not very good at all, and it won't be for the rest of the season. Everybody's slipping on it all the time, and it was another slip. But it's the inside of his knee. I think he had a scan last night, and they'll tell me today probably what the verdict is. But I don't expect we'll see him for a few weeks.
Bit of a concern then, I mean, in terms of depth to your squad as well, because he's been a real regular for you.
There's always been a concern about the depth of my squad. It just means when we lose another 3 or 4, it's chaotic.
Rotherham, obviously, again, a club you've got a fondness for. The fighting for the lives at the moment. Do you see many similarities to the position you walked into there?
Absolutely. And Paul Ward's a smashing lad, and I think he's done miracles with the team. I know what it's going to be like, it's because we were there, and they're all genuine 100% players. They've got long throws coming in from every angle and free kicks coming in from every angle, and they score most of the goals in that way. But they've got some good players as well, so yeah, it's going to be difficult. But I don't know a game at the moment where we're playing at the moment. I think every game's difficult.
They've picked up as well, haven't they, in terms of results in recent weeks? Spoiled Wayne Rooney's first game as the full-time manager at Derby, and quite a rollercoaster affair against Stoke, wasn't it? That 3-3.
Yeah, they scored some good goals and could have won it, and then could have lost it. It was a typical championship battle, really. But I think they spoilt the coverage, I think, at Derby that day.
Do you expect them to come and have a real go at you tomorrow?
They won't be any different to how they are every game. They've played ever so well the last few games, so why should they change it? It's direct, which they were when we were there, and they don't mess about, and they've got genuine lads. I can't say anything bad about them, mate.
I know when we've talked about your team throughout the season, a lot of the conversation is centred on searching for goals and improving at that end. But it's actually 7 games since you last kept a clean sheet now. Is that a little bit of a concern for you at the moment?
Well, it doesn't look like we're going to keep a clean sheet at the moment. So, I suppose you can say it's a concern. But I think it, like I say, a lot of it depends on the players that are playing. Really, at the moment, that there are gaps in certain areas, and we're getting punished for it.
How close are you to filling some of those gaps then in the transfer market?
I'm not close at all, really. The 2 lads that I thought we got a great chance with last week, in the last 24 hours, I've been told by both Premier League managers that they're not letting them out. So it's been a devastating week for us, really, on top of everything else. So it can't get much worse.
One chink of light, I suppose, was Ashley Fletcher was back out there as a substitute at the weekend. How long do you think it will be? Because he's had such a long time out. How long before he can regain the sharpness that you need from him?
I'm not aware. I'm not sure about it. I think we're expecting too much of him, really. You can't expect him just to come back. And I thought he looked rusty, didn't he, when he come on? So I don't think we've got to expect too much of Ashley. It's we've got to try and get him, get him back up to fitness as best we can, and just persevere. He might have to play centre half soon.
Well, good luck tomorrow. Thank you.
Thanks. Dawn. Where are you? Hi, Dawn.
Hello, hi Neil.
Hi,
How
love.
are you doing?
Yeah. Been better, Dawn.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking about last week actually when you said, you really, really enjoyed being on the touchline. You might not look it sometimes, but you really enjoyed it. But yeah, didn't really seem the case the other night.
No, I think when things are like I've just said, when you work all week and you work so hard, and then you get let down by people that's not involved in your team, decisions like we got, it just absolutely, it makes you distraught. Really, I felt terrible. Like I said, I've not felt as bad since I was let down with Craig Pawson and Eddie Smart against Chelsea a few years ago, and that's how I felt. I felt totally let down by the referee not doing his job, which would have changed the whole game. And so I nothing else I can say really.
No, I mean, there've been various managers complaining about the standard refereeing this season in the Championship. Do you think it's something that really does have to improve?
Well, I
think, or bring in VAR.
Well, I think they're getting away with murder at the minute because there's no fans, so a lot of them's not making any decisions because they're getting punished for making decisions. So it's easier to keep quiet and say somebody blocked my view or what have you. They've all got an answer. But the standard of refereeing has never been as poor in the Championship. I spoke to Alan Wiley the other day, and who's the referees, and I've never known he's got nothing to work with. It's not as if there's young lads coming through. We've been talking for years about ex-pros becoming referees, but the problem with referees, most of them haven't played the game, so they're okay 90% of the time. But when they have to do something regarding knowing the game, it's not their fault really, because they've not really. So most of them guess at it, and it's it's not. It didn't augur well. I mean, no. I dread to think some of these lads going in the Premier League.
I guess the flip side of it is that they get so much abuse that maybe that's what puts them off.
Well, I think they go into it a little bit like traffic wardens. I think they go into it knowing, really. I think they're all very similar in their outlook, very similar in how they look and how they talk and what they say to you. Like Bill Shankly said, they know the rules, they just don't know the game.
Interesting. In terms of the players that you might be without, Marcus and Dale, etc., how much of a problem is that going to be for you in the next few weeks?
Well, we just got to muck on with what we've got, haven't we? Yeah, you feel sorry for yourself for a while. Marcus slipped on the pitch. The pitch has not been very good at all this year. The top level, the top surface, it cost us the game against Norwich with Marcus, and then the injury. He shouldn't have slipped like he did. So it's everything seems to be building up at the minute. So I suppose we do feel a bit sorry for ourselves. But there are a good group, and people will come in, and people will have to come into areas and just do the best.
And I suppose you're also just a little bit playing catch up at the moment, but if you could get another 3 points, it would take you level with Bournemouth, which would be mentally, psychologically quite a big boost.
It would, yeah. It would be a massive boost. But we said that before Saturday's game, playing catch up. I mean, if I'd have known what I know now, there's no way I would have rearranged the Rotherham game. We would have done it later on in the season, but we tried to do it as quickly as we could, and it's backfired on us regarding all the injuries and etc. But sometimes in adversities, you come through. So, I'm hoping that the lads respond.
And obviously, it would be fantastic to get a win, especially at the Riverside after 2 defeats there. Before you take on Norwich. Yeah,
well, I mean. Norwich, and what can you say about that? Another televised game. People keep reminding me that we've not won a home game in January for 5 years, and we've not won a televised game since I've been here. So really, our season's going to start after Norwich. Okay, we're going to go on a run in February, and we'll win on television after that.
Good. I hope you do. And how are the players at the moment? Are they feeling a bit despondent?
Yeah, I think when you look at the injustices that we've had over the last few weeks, it's not just been that decision. We've had some horrendous decisions the last few weeks, but we just got to get on with it. Really, I said to the lads, we haven't had any luck at all. We've not nothing fall for us for a tapping or anything when we've had melees in the box. Woody really is a really good chance after the goal he made the save, probably the best chance of the day, and we haven't put it in. So sometimes that's how it goes. Life's like that. But we're not in a bad position, and we've just got to try and keep going and get back onto something, and hope that the lads coming in will stand up to the test, really.
And just finally, as well as Britt and Duncan, who I think have got, 5 or 6 goals apiece, you really need goals coming from other parts of the pitch as well.
Here, Don. I don't know what to say. I'm like a flaming... It's just like a needle stuck in it, this.
A broken record.
That's a broken record, yeah, I'm afraid. There's nothing more I can say to you. If I was there, I would score these goals personally. I'm sure you would. But unfortunately, it's some of the players who can't score.
Maybe 20 years ago, Neil, but not now. Anyway, good luck against
Thank you.
Rotherham.
Thanks, Don. Simon?
Hi, Neil. Interesting to hear you say that, maybe the players are starting to feel just a tiny little bit sorry for themselves. But is one of the benefits of your experience the fact that you know what to say to them when they get a bit like that?
Yeah, it's who motivates the motivator, isn't it, really? Without a shadow of a doubt, that's probably the lowest I felt the other day, because I didn't think it was anything to do with us, Almost now, I'm not looking at the opponent, Rotherham, I'll be looking at who's going to be refereeing, which is ridiculous, really.
Obviously, consistency a bit of an issue at the moment, but just looking at the table, that's actually an issue up and down the table. I think it's only Reading, Brentford, Swansea who've got unbeaten in 5 games. It does seem crazier than ever, almost, this season.
Yeah, and that's why the disappointment of missing out on the last 2 home games, Both managers were managing at Middlesbrough. Both come very, very physical. Birmingham and the first 30 minutes, absolutely physical, pummeled us, both games. And we've had no protection whatsoever. It's no good to me, the referee's guy, saying he should have booked him after 7 minutes and he should have done this after 12 minutes. When they don't do it, I get a letter or a phone call. What good is that to me? We need referees who stand up and do the job, mate. That's what I want. So I'm not moaning all the time.
Last one from me, just to end on a positive. Disappointing for so many reasons the other day, but you look at the table, you look at how many games are left, and it's still right there for you.
Yeah. Just got to get these 2 out of the way, like I say, and then we'll start in February, okay? I promise you we'll be all fit and raring to go in February, and then we'll make it interesting at the top end.